Today we're going to complete lab unified kill chain. So let's get started. So for task 1, it's just going to introduce the objective for today. We're going to understand why frameworks such as the UKC are important and helpful in establishing a good cybersecurity posture. We're going to use the UKC to understand an attacker motivations, methodologies, and tactics. We're going to understand the various phases of the UKC and discover that the UKC is a framework that is used to complement other frameworks. Once you read the objective, we're going to click on complete. For task 2, we're going to learn what is the kill chain. So the word kill chain was originated from the military. A kill chain is a term used to explain the various stages of an attack. In the realm of cybersecurity, a kill chain is used to describe the methodology path attacker, such as hackers or APTs, use to approach and attrude a target. So where does the term kill chain originate from? That's going to be military. So for task 3, we're going to learn what is threat modeling. So threat modeling is a series of steps to ultimately improve the security of a system. Threat modeling is about identifying risks and essentially boils down to 4 steps. So identify what systems and applications need to be secure and what functions they serve an environment, assessing what vulnerabilities and weakness these systems and applications may have and how they could be potentially exploited, creating a plan of action to secure these systems and applications from the vulnerability highlights, and putting in policies to prevent these vulnerabilities from occurring against where possible. What is the technical term for a piece of software or hardware in IT information technology? That should be access. Now we're going to go to task 4. In task 4, we're going to be introduced to the unified kill chain. To continue from the previous task, the unified kill chain published in 2017 aims to complement, not compete, with other cybersecurity kill chain frameworks, such as Lockheed Martin and MITRE ATT&CK. The UKC states that there are 18 phases to an attack. Some large benefit of the UKC over traditional cybersecurity kill chain frameworks include the fact that it is modern and extremely detailed. So these are the 18 steps or the 18 phases to the framework. So the benefit of UKC framework compared to other frameworks is it's newer, it's more modern. It was released in 2017. The UKC is extremely detailed, 18 phases. The UKC covers an entire attack from reconnaissance, exploitation, post-exploitation, and includes identifying an attacker motivation. The UKC highlights a much more realistic attack scenario. Various stages will often reoccur. For example, after exploiting a machine, an attacker will begin reconnaissance to pivot another system. In what year was the Unified Kill Chain Framework released? That's going to be 2017. According to the Unified Kill Chain, how many phases are there to an attack? 18. What is the name of the attack phase where an attacker employs techniques to evade detection? That's going to be defense evasion. What is the name of the attack phase where an attacker employs techniques to remove data from a network? Removing data from a network is going to be exfiltration. What is the name of the attack phase where an attacker achieved their objective? Now let's go to task 5. An attacker will employ numerous tactics to investigate the system for potential vulnerabilities that can be exploited to gain a foothold in the system. For example, a common tactic is the use of reconnaissance against a system to discover potential attack vectors. Attackers employ all kinds of tactics in this stage to initiate a foothold, including exploiting a vulnerable application or service, phishing attacks, supply chain attacks, social engineering. What is an example of a tactic to gain a foothold using email? That's going to be phishing. Impersonating an employee to request a password reset is a form of what? Social engineering. An adversary setting up the command and control server infrastructure is what phase of the unified kill chain? Command and control. That's going to be weaponization. Exploiting a vulnerability present on a system is what phase of the unified kill chain? That should be exploitation. Moving from one system to another is an example of pivoting. Leaving behind a malicious service that allowed the adversary to log back into the target is what? That should be, I believe it's persistence. That should be persistent. Now we're going to go into task 6, network propagation. This phase followed a successful foothold to begin establishing the target network. An attacker would seek to gain additional access and privilege to systems and data to fulfill their goal. The attacker would set up a base on one of the systems to act as their pivot point and use it to gather information about the internal network. So answer the questions below. As a SOC analyst, you pick up numerous alerts pointing to failed login attempts from an administrator account. What stage of the kill chain would an attacker be seeking to achieve? That's going to be your privilege escalation. Mimikatz, a known attack tool, was detected running on the IT manager computer. What is the mission of this tool? We're going to Google this because I don't know. Mimikatz is a leading post-exploitation tool that dumps passwords from the memory, as well as hashes, pins, and Kerberos tickets. Dump passwords. The answer is going to be credential dumping. The main goal for task 7 is geared towards compromising the confidentiality, integrity, and availability CIA triad. So these are the tactics that the attacker will use. So collection, exfiltration, impact, and objectives. While monitoring the network as a SOC analyst, you realize that there is a spike in the network activities and all the traffic is outbound to an unknown IP address. What stage could describe this activity? That's going to be your exfiltration. Personally identifiable information has been released to the public by an adversary, and your organization is facing scrutiny for the breach. What part of the CIA triad would be affected by this action? That's going to be confidentiality. Now let's go to task 8. For task 8, we're going to deploy this site. Click on View Site. And now we're going to answer these questions. The attacker used these tools to gather information about a system. What phase of the unified kill chain is this? Reconnaissance. The attacker installed a malicious script to allow them remote access at a later date. What phase of the unified kill chain is this? That'll be persistence. The hack machine is being controlled from an attacker on server. What phase of the unified kill chain is this? Command and control. The attacker uses the hack machine to access other servers on the same network. What phases of the unified kill chain is this? Pivoting. The attacker steals a database and sells this to a third party. What phase of the unified kill chain is this? Action and objective. Here's our flag. We're going to copy our flag. and paste it below. Now we're going to click on task 9. So for task 9, it's going to give us a summary of what we did today. Now we're going to click on complete, and congratulations guys.